once again, it's Wednesday, and it's time for another edition of Inside the Headset. I'm on the campus of Oakland. I got with me the head coach of the Oakland Patriots, head coach Kevin Creasy. How you doing today, Coach?
Doing good, Stuart.
Well, got out last Friday night. Let's move right into it. You played the Antioch Bears. I had a chance to come out and run sideline, grab some clips. Got a chance to see your team play. You was able to come away with a win, but based on what I saw a lot of guys getting a chance to run the ball or a lot of chance to get touches, and Patriots looked good and was able to get their fourth win of the 2024 season.
Yeah, I'm glad you were out here. You know, everybody talked about it was going to rain. It was going to rain. Terrible storm coming. And it was like a beautiful night for football. And then I appreciate your clips. It was a good little highlights you put together of the game. And, you know, there's plenty of highlights for Antioch as well. You know, that was a heck of a football team. Definitely making the playoffs, could win the region. And, you know, luckily they go west in the playoffs and we'll go east. But every team we played, first 4 games when we played them, they've been undefeated. So, you know, we've had some tough opponents the first 4 games, and hopefully it's getting us ready for this region run that we're about to go on.
I thought Friday night that where they kind of had difficulty was within themselves. It seemed like at times a lot of time was spent just trying to get lined up and get their kids. But that happens on Friday night. You know, you go through the weekly practice and you say, run it again. And there's a reason why you run it again, because on Friday night you want to run it right. But sometimes that communication and they get confused, and it only takes one kid to get confused and he's not lined up right. The quarterback can't snap it.
Yeah, you know, put a lot on the quarterback, you know, and so he's getting everybody in the right spot, checking plays and making adjustments, checking the protection, and then, you know, sometimes he's out there running for his life, you know, and give him credit, man. He's a heck of a player. Dad's the offense coordinator, and you know, he never got sacked the other night. I thought that was impressive because our defense is really fast.
You flushed him several times,
yeah,
and he'd take off.
He had, you know, he was averaging like 6 yards a carry, and so he had plenty of yards on the run, and then, of course, his scrambles, you know, he made plays with his arms and his legs. So, you know, like I said, quality opponent, and, you know, they've got some really huge kids over there, and they were making plays on both sides of the ball. And like I said, I think they're going to do fine. You know, I think Coach is doing a heck of a job over there. You know, it's just his first year at Antioch, and I think they're going to make some waves over there in their region.
Yeah, and then, you know, you would see when they did get things right, man, and they did make a strike. He threw that real long pass, burned you, and he went right in the end zone. So the speed kick, if he made that connection, you knew that your guys were going to be in a foot race if the kid got the ball.
Well, at the end of the day, that was 4th down. I think it was like 4th and 10. You know, we sent out an all-out blitz. He didn't even see his receiver. He threw it off his back foot right before he got hit by about 3 people. And he knew exactly what spot his receiver was going to be in. And so give him credit for that, and, you know, being tough enough to hang in there. And like I said, it turned into not just a first down, but a touchdown, like a 50-yard touchdown.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, let's get some accolades out there to some of the kids that we did see go into the end zone. I thought right off the bat, a kid that played well on both sides of the ball and literally showed his athleticism, and that was Chase Bandy. You know, he got that one-handed interception and then scored there on that long run.
Yeah. Chase is a great kid, first off, you know, great kid.
And you could tell that by the likes he got on his plays. Everybody was commenting that Chase is a real good kid, so that says a lot from them.
Awesome dude. You know, he's got a couple offers from smaller colleges, but he's a big-time player. And
he's going to get a lot more.
Big-time addition.
And what year is he, just for the record?
He's a senior.
He's a senior.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, he does it on both sides of the ball. You know, plays corner, plays safety, plays both of them really well. Plays quarterback, plays wide receiver, plays both of them really well. And that just tells you how smart of a football guy he is. And like I said, he made an incredible interception with one hand, turns right back around and runs our offense and converts a big 3rd down for us. And like I said, not just a first down, but turns it into almost a touchdown. Got stopped on the 1-inch line. But yeah, heck of an upside for Chase, because one of these days somebody will get him in their football program and they'll just make him learn one position. We make him learn about 7, and so he's one of those valuable guys that we wouldn't be where we are today without him.
Well, and you've had a couple of them. You've been fortunate for one of them to kind of poke their head out amongst your Oakland Patriots since you've been here in 2015. You've had Woody Washington. You had Eric Taylor. You've just had several kids that can play both sides of the ball, be effective, and make plays on Friday night. Jacoby Stevens did the same thing. I mean, there's just a lot of guys like that.
Yeah, we have, and like I said, the real good ones, the competitors, they want on both sides of the ball. They don't want to be clapping when the game's on the line. They want on the field.
Well, then T.T. Hill, he had a couple of runs, and T.T. looked pretty good.
Yep, TT did a great job, not just at running the ball, but also receiving some passes, and then of course the punt return. I thought the punt return, gave us a lot of momentum. I think it was about a 90-yard punt return, and that's his second one in back-to-back weeks. So he's had two big returns, and we're expecting, big things out of him on the kickoff game next. We got him back deep on kickoff now, and so we're expecting big field position, gains with that guy back there if we can.
Well, he almost ran over me. I jumped out of the way, but I didn't get the shoulder shake move. You can just about see him do it before, as there's about 6 Antioch guys coming toward him. He realizes I need to go into my final gear. He kicks it into the final gear, goes past them, but as he does, he did a little shutter shake there to let them know, you're not going to catch me, so as he went in the end zone. But that was a lot of bodies that was fixing to fly toward me, and I got out of the way, I got to tell you, Coach, because you just never know when that, I've seen that happen before, and you hold into the last second, but when it gets dangerous, you pull out. So anyway, but, and then finally Craig Tuck went in the end zone untouched.
Yeah, Craig, again, another guy that plays both sides of the ball. Probably could use him more on offense, but right now he's so valuable to us on defense, playing two different positions on defense right now. I expect, the more region play amps up, I expect him to get the ball more. But he's that kind of guy that, does great things with the ball in his hands.
Well, your offensive line did a real good job for Kyler as he faded back, found his receiver, and got connected, and both of them got a touchdown.
Yeah, we kept him upright for the most part. Right before half, we go in a little 2-minute offense and back-to-back sacks, so we had some problems with that. But, they had a D lineman that was a pretty good athlete.
He was.
And that sucker was fast. So ended up, I think he got sacked 3 times, and he was responsible, probably for all 3 of them. That guy's pretty good. But at the same time, we got to get better at protecting the quarterback. He took one big hit, and you hate to see that, but we've been working on that this week, so hopefully we're getting better at it.
Yeah, and that happens. Any other changes possibly coming to the roster? Any kids possibly come back for Friday night when we start talking about Blackburn?
Yeah, DeJuan, he's been out with that high ankle, and he practiced yesterday for the first time and looked good in pads, and so we're hoping that, he can come back. I don't know if he'll be 100%, but
You'll see some reps.
He doesn't want to miss, this game for sure. It's just we don't want to get him out there and, re-injured or anything like that. So, expecting big things out of him later in the season, but, he's itching to get back. So I thought it was good for him to be back at practice yesterday.
For 12 years, I've been a part of this game. I've been able, I went independent 2012, so it's been 12 years that I've been able to see, usually slip around and try to catch this game. This game, it means a lot because it's 2 Murfreesboro teams, for one thing. And then since probably I've been independent, even a little bit before that, it's been a close game. It's not, sometimes it gets a little lopsided and it's gone through its phases, but generally if you go back and you look at all the scores over the last 12 years, there is a lot of games with a lot of points scored, a lot of highlights, and the kids love getting revved up for this one, just like you just said. Everybody wants to play in the Blackman-Oakland game.
Yeah, it's a big rival, and, more important than a rival game, it's a region game.
Yeah, there you go.
I think our guys found out just how important region games were last year when we lost our first region game in 10 years. And you got to go on the road in the playoffs. That's not really fun. So every region game counts the same amount. So you got to take every one of them serious. And this game's going to be a close game. If you buy a ticket, you bought a ticket to the right game because it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a good, hard-fought battle. I think they're a good team. We're a good team. And that's why you play the game on Friday night. All these guys out there making predictions. I don't know where they're getting the information from, but I've watched plenty of film to know they are a well-coached, hard-nosed, good defense, very explosive on offense, great in the special teams. What more can you ask for? So we better be ready to bring our A game, because it's going to be a close game, and hopefully we can do something in the fourth quarter to pull it out.
Well, they were in that Ravenwood game, and they were in that Ravenwood game, and may have been, a little bit over there on Will's side. Will could have had 3 points there just because it's at his home and whatnot. He's got a mean crowd, but that's the other thing. We know another thing that's going to happen Friday night. 2 big bands are going to compete, and 2 big fan bases. Now, those 2 items will be at the game also, Coach.
Yeah, you could look at Blackman and say they probably should be 4-0. They very easily could be 4-0 right now. They let one slip away at Brentwood that they dominated.
There's another one.
The whole game, until the very end. And like I said, they've gotten better every week, and that's what you want as a football team, to get better every week. And you look at what they did last week to Summit, this total domination. From opening kickoff to the very end, and like I said, it was domination in all 3 phases. So give them guys props. They're doing a good job over there coaching them up. And like I said, we're expecting a close one.
These 2. You coached them when they were younger. 2 of the Creasys and everything. What's the difference between the 2 as far as if you had to say, Will's more probably this, and he's probably that's his specialty. And Matt, Matt, if you know Matt, this is Matt.
Well, they're both similar.
Okay.
But then they do have their differences. There's no doubt there are differences between the 2. But as a player, I gotta say, both of them were real similar in one aspect. They were 155 pounds playing 5A ball. There were only 5 classifications. 5A ball at 155 pounds, and both tough as all get out. Tough kids that are playing linebacker in one of the toughest regions in 5A when there were only 5 classes. And those dudes sacrifice their bodies. I mean, they're blowing shoulders out. They're coming out with hurt back, hurt neck, because they would give everything they got. And so that's the best compliment I can give them. And that's 20-something years ago when they were playing. Those dudes would give you everything you got. They do whatever the coach told them to do, and they would put their body on the line. And like I said, at 155 pounds, taking on guys that were 2 times, sometimes almost 3 times their size. Both of them were tough enough to handle it. So I got to give both of them credit for being similar in that ways.
Well, and you talk about it, but that's the way they run their football teams. The same way. They try to teach them the discipline and everything, and that's just what you've been talking about. You know what you're going to get when you get into this game.
Yep.
Any final things you'd like to say, faculty, staff, administration? You had a good program here Friday night, and everything seemed to go okay for a home game?
Yeah, I thought our stands were packed. Our side was packed for sure. But that's easy to come to a home game. We need all of our fans to go on the road. It's just the other side of town. Now, it might take 30 minutes to get there, but it's still the other side of town. We need the support. I know Blackman's going to be packed on their sideline. We got to make sure that our side is packed as well. We need the support. Our guys deserve it. They work their tail off. They deserve support. And we're hoping that the Patriot fan base shows up and shows out there.
It's going to be a clear night. It's going to be a beautiful night. In fact, Stark Vision will be there. That's over at the Inferno, kids. Oakland Patriots, Blackman Blaze, kickoffs at 7, and we'll be on the air about 15 minutes beforehand. Y'all tune in.